Yeah, what's up, man? Base boxing basement, the triple B right here. Yeah, obviously I've been a bit quiet since I lost my dog. I miss him like anything, man. And he was a good part of the channel. I love animals, so yeah, it's hurtful. I'll hopefully be able to get back soon. But anyway, so there's Moses Itauma, Moses Enrico Itauma vs Dillian Whyte. Is a fight that's happening. Now, this is very interesting, man. It's an interesting fight. I would have Itauma as a big favorite. You know what it reminds me of, right? See, back in the day, when I was naughty, I was in the big house, right? And there was this gang of Asians, pussios. Like, they had no muscles, they had no, you know, they were not intimidating, and it was these Asian guys, and they would pick on weak people in the big ass. So, for example, there's this guy who just he was in there because he'd broken his license or probation, and because he kept on contacting his wife, which he wasn't meant to. He was in love with her, and obviously he was a pest, but he was no danger to anyone. And they went in these Asian guys, they went in the showers, and they stabbed him in the face with biros. You know what I mean? And this poor guy was sitting there, and he doesn't belong in prison. He don't belong in prison. He made some mistakes. He was in love with his wife, but he doesn't deserve to be in prison. But they went after him. Why? Because he was weak. And there's another guy that they bashed up in the showers. Another weak guy, a posh guy. And these guys were pussy holes, right? Anyway, one time, so I'm out in the yard. You understand me? Now, what you got to understand is, if you kick off in the yard, if you kick off in association, if you kick off and the screws will close down everyone and put them back in their cells, you're not popular. You're not popular. So you've got to wait for the right time, which is always the end time. Anyway, so these Asians, I don't know what they thought. I don't know what the fuck they thought that was going on. And I'm sitting there, and it's the end of yard time. And he comes up to me, and he goes, you all right, pal? Now, I know as well as anyone else, he's not really asking if I'm... He's not really asking if I'm all right, is he? What? He suddenly cares if I'm all right. I stare at him, and I'm like, I know what... I'm looking at this pussy hole. There's no muscles on him. I crunch him. And I said to him, I go, yeah, I'm all right, pal. How are you, pal? What you doing? What you saying? Why are you talking like this? And then this guy suddenly bottles it. Oh, nothing. I'm just wondering how you are. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Don't fucking come at me again. You know what I'm saying? And, we went back into everyone go back in their cells. And I never got any trouble from them, obviously, because they're a bunch of pussy holes. They're a lot of people try and play the hard card because they've got a few friends in there, and they're like, oh, we're going to attack some weak people so that people know we're bad boys. But I wasn't the one. I sat there, I was like, what do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And he bottled it and never fucking spoke to me again. I don't know why they thought I was weak, man. I think it's because I wasn't connected. You know, I was no connected to any bad boys. I was on my own. But yeah, so, you know. And now I look back, I'm thinking you should have just slapped them up. You should have fucking taught them a lesson. But at the time, it's a short sentence. I'm like, I just want to get out of this shithole. Right? So anyway, these pussy holes bottled it, obviously. Carried on looking for weak people. And I weren't that person. Carried on looking for weak people to bully. And you know, whatever, man. Nothing happens. But this is the thing. You got to understand. About prison, it's all front. It's all pretending to be intimidating, pretending to be dangerous. These were like 4 Asian guys with no muscles, complete pussy holes. And, you know, and they will attack some poor guy who's middle class, who's fucking, you know, who's basically harassing his ex because he loves her, and you know, he stabbed them in the face. But when they came to me, they were like, I was like, what do you want? What's going on, man? And they backed off. So what's the relevance of this and Moses Itauma? I think it's similar in the sense that Moses Itauma is 20, allegedly 20. Fucking, if he's 20, then I'm fucking 19. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then, to be honest, Dillian is like 37 or something, like, you know. Itauma is going to crush him. He's going to crush him. Right? And if he can't crush him, if he gets done himself, well, then he's not the level that people say he is, right? But basically, he's going to crush Itauma in a similar way. In a similar way to those Asians, you know, who come up to me and goes, what are you saying, bloods? Itauma will crush them, you know, and he will crush Dillian Whyte. How long? It's difficult to say. I mean, Itauma irons people out, man. He puts them to sleep. He's violent. He's aggressive. He doesn't mess around. You know? He's not interested. He's not interested in playing the game. He's interested in knocking people out. So, yeah, I think it's a great bit of matchmaking by Frank Warren, you know, and generally he's a very good matchmaker, which is basically like, we'll get an up-and-coming guy, Itauma, right, who looks 35, who has a receding hairline, who has the body of a 30-year-old, you know, who speaks like, you know, he's mature, and he'll be like, yeah, we're going to put him up against Dillian Whyte, and he'll knock him out too. The question is when. It's not to say that Dillian hasn't got a chance. He has. He can punch. You know what I'm saying? Itauma has not been tested thus far. But I think at this stage, it's going to be a brutal, violent knockout. I think probably about 5 rounds. I reckon about 5 rounds. Itauma will batter Dillian Whyte, probably stop him in about 5 rounds. Peace in the Middle East.